a pond and you have stuff growing in the pond.
Yeah, we have two cucumbers, and they are growing great.
So you,
I know.
Make a salad.
no, no, I'm asking because you know it's your proof of concept is obviously something that's gonna be important, right? You need to demonstrate that you actually master the technique and so on. You know, the technology is known; it's been around for a long time, but you know, doing it on scale is obviously something that's more difficult. I was just going to say one thing because at some point you will have to pitch this again. Don't read the slides, please. I said this last time also. It's terrible. You gotta learn how you sell your idea, right? And the other thing, yeah, the other thing is that it's so don't make it some kind of a popularity that everybody needs 5 minutes on your team and so on. You pick the guy who's the best at this, right? And then the others they step back and say, okay, I'm good at something else. I'm good at but take the one that's the best pitcher, and this is the one you use.
And you have 3 minutes. You didn't have 3 minutes today. You had much more. But generally, you have 3.
Anyway, that was just some outside advice. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question also. Is the problem that you already mentioned, the diseases, which is not very directly connected to the agriculture, which how do you fight it? Because I think that this is very important part of this because you always know this water condition, so that it's very close to that your species could be diseased. Yeah? And how you control that? Have you any control mechanism for that? Because this is very important because people will be fighting it. Once you have this problem, nobody will buy this product. Okay? So you'll ruin the business if this happens. So it needs very control on the highest level so that you have no.
How you control this disease?
Not me, but veterinar.
What?
Veterinarian.
So you're looking for this that just
You
they
measure-
come and give you the antibiotics, what you're gonna do?
You measure the water all
I
the
don't know
time.
what to come to disease. But there are veterinarians who are trained, I have in my farm veterinarian.
And then the question goes also to have you tested that diseases are compared with you said that there are two ways of greenhouse. One is this ordinary, costly, which is used in the United States, and then Chinese greenhouse, which is underground. So you have more using the temperature that is generated by the soil, through the sun, period, whatever. So is this type of greenhouse also affect the disease level? How have you checked that? Because you said that this is more because costly, but on the other side you can have more diseases there.
Yeah. It will not be connected to all diseases. It's just a house that it has temperature. You must control any disease. Also, plant diseases.
A couple pieces of advice, and I'm going off of what Sabi was saying here. First of all, the franchise model, I think that's a great idea. One, potential on how to make money on this. I don't know if you've heard of the beer guys, Brewdog. They started out, with like no money, a few thousand euros, and now their beer franchise is worth over $1 billion because they put together a package, a book of how it could be replicated exactly like a McDonald's essentially into other places, and the quality is always the same, the systems are always the same, and of course you end up buying the machines and the ultraviolet, cleaners and everything from you or through you at least, so you get a cut on everything. It's a very viable business model, but you need to think about that and you need to present it on a slide somewhere. This is how we make money. But in general, comment number 2 would be just make it clear, what is the problem that you're solving, and then what is the solution, right? You talked long slide of text and such, you know, just in a few sentences, what is the problem? You know, is there a problem at all? Is there a real problem? Is there not enough salad? Or is it that the salad is tainted because of pesticides and all these other diseases? And if you want to turn on the emotion, then talk about how many people died, you know, from Chinese tainted products, and even baby milk was tainted and all that. Just, you know, turn it up so that it's clear that this is a serious, big problem. This isn't going to be one aquarium, you know, with 2 cucumbers growing. You know, sell that vision and provide your solution. But as far as, you know, it was a trick question here, obviously, about the about the antibiotics. If you say the problem is pesticides, herbicides, and all these other antibiotics, things like that in the groundwater, well then, for God's sakes, you can't possibly have that as part of your business. It's game over as soon as you know, allow that into your system, because your entire problem solution is broken now. You are part of the problem at that point. So your whole solution has to be entirely organic, and you know, you have to drum that all the time, that we are 100% organic, we eliminate this, everything that the current, you know, what is the current problem? Well, I got lots of more comments, but
Yeah, but you know, in fact, it's okay. I mean, it's okay that we are giving such comments. It's not-
This is positive.
It's a mentorship a little bit.
We're just, yeah, because I sat through the Estonian pitches 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I sort of saw what they're coming with and what they're going to Denmark with, and I want you to be competitive. You know, I want you to be equal.
Did anybody add something to that? What we said? All right. All right. We read this system.
Tomorrow.
Be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Consider what we already did.
Okay, thank you. So the next competitor is Georgian Spices, Michael Caprese.
So they sneak these guys. Perfect. Especially for rural.
Is everything happening tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm opening this program with 5 minutes on it. So just stuff like this.
So you know, that's like the agricultural ministry.
Stuff like that.
I've got a question.
Hi. Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Marco. Okay. Is it necessary to be like very serious?
No,
Okay.
Not at all.
quite opposite, yeah.
Okay, that's good, because like.
Be memorable.
Thank you. Okay. Wish me luck, because like it's the second time for me like presenting like such a situation. So I will try to do my best, okay?
Of course you will.
Don't judge me like you should.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Serious?
My recipe, my name is Marco Caprese. I'm representing my new startup, which is Georgian Spices. Pack of the spices, which is ready to cook the Georgian traditional dishes. And it's with the recipes, so it's like getting easy to cook the Georgian spices. We came up with the idea about 10 months ago, because working in the tourism, I often got requests from my tourists and the groups to write down their recipe and then help with them to find these spices. So at the moment, 50-gram packages contain all of the richness of the Georgian cuisine, what I've done at the moment. And the value proposition of this pack behind the souvenir, that this is the game with the challenge, with rules and the reward system. They test themselves on how well they can put together all these ingredients, which is necessary for making of Georgian dish, And the reward is the recreation of the taste they remember from their trip. And it's ready-made mix, so the modern busy person who rushes home after work does not have to worry about the proportions and etc. We started from scratch, literally, and after 10 months, we have 2,000 packs sold per month. This is without any kind of advertisement or any kind of communication. And we hope it will be grew up 3,000 packages per month, in every 10 months, if we will not add any communications or any our energy for this direction of the advertising of our product. But and in 5 years, if I will continue without this advertising, in 5 years, because of the word of mouth, works very good, and believe me, if some tourists will get something good, word of mouth really works, it will be 10,000 per month after 5 months. So my local market is on whom I have to choose to work and sell my product. This is 120,000 visitors per year and 80,000 locals. 120,000 visitors, this is 2% of 6 million tourists, and 80,000 local, this is with expats and everybody, this is 2% of 4 million population of Georgia. So this is my target, and this is my market with whom I really want to work, and I have this ambition they will listen and buy this product. My future plan with is with advertisement will be very high. This is thousands packs per month, but without advertisement, it will grow up very, very slow. So, so in 2 years, I will start to work for export, because immediate target group for exports, who are buying my packages, they become the spies, my agents, sales agents, because when they bought this box over here and they took these fillings at their home, they becoming my direct agents to the investor who will invest into this product. So the link between me and the between me and the person who will interested in this business is this agent who is buying in this place this pack and taking this this experience from here to there. So I think that my product must be in the shops of the post-Soviet countries, because post-Soviet countries are already ready and they have these feelings about the Georgia, minimum they heard about this country compared to the European countries, USA also, which is a big market and it's colorful, European Union and the Asia, because now we have last 10 years we have a lot of commerce, interested persons from Asia, number one is Israel, interested country in Georgia. So this is our team, this is me. I never be so nervous, I'm sorry. And this is my brother, who is the graphical designer, who helped me to design these cozy packs, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have a sample with you? Because I don't think Julia has seen how it looks.
Yes, I do.
How it smells.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
How it
It
smells.
smells.
Yes.
This
really,
To make it
it's like I said that last time.
I have a recipe on that.
I really like the pack, and I think it's a brilliant idea. Obviously, we don't have to tell you that it's not a novel idea to mix spices. You know, that's been done. That's been
Yeah,
done.
that's right.
That's been done, but for the local market, it's obviously something that hasn't. I haven't seen, at least in Georgia, a pre-mix of Bengali spices and so on. So I think you've got something that is quite interesting. I like your presentation also. It's
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But you have to stay, you have to, again, I mean,
Again, you have to stay within 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Say-
Yeah, like I
Bum, 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 you have
said,
to
like,
Look,
when you do this at home, this is okay.
One comment.
Yes.
I liked what we from the beginning. It was we want, but the only thing that I want to just maybe you have to think about is this. You know what is the market barrier?
Maximum.
Market barrier.
Market barrier.
so the
Entry barrier, yeah, whatever. Because how easily could be copied? Let's say.
It's a low entry barrier. Everybody can copy that.
Because there is no something knowledge here or something,
But
Yeah.
everybody can.
know-how that could prevent you easily being copied.
Yeah.
Somebody may, do a lot of packaging and sell this exactly the same stuff,
sure.
Yeah.
So your speed to market is going to be
Yeah.
So you have to think about this, how to protect yourself from being copied, because if you are successful on the market, somebody will say, it's a good thing, to sell this, and this you can buy everywhere, the spices you have. It's ready, you are not producing it, yes?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like you are just buying it ready, and you can buy it on the market easily. So the only thing is packaging and the marketing.
But look at companies like Red Bull, for instance. They're being copied everywhere and so on, but they still manage to keep a market leadership.
Even Coca-Cola is copied by the Pepsi.
Yeah, but I mean, but what you're now talking about something
Yeah.
very specific, right?
Think about this.
Thank you.
At least in
Thank you.
Georgia, there are 2 big companies who might do that within the week time and make a design and all that. Within a month time, they can complete this anything. So why we are paying attention to that? Your attention to that, because you talk about the communication. So, but you didn't say what kind of communication you want to build. But if you build proper communication immediately now and build up your name, then everything will look like a copy. For me, if I would see on the market something else, not that one, I wouldn't know. Yes, but today I know you are the first. So you should position yourself as a first. Doesn't matter big or small.
Like a brand.
So, like a brand.
Yeah.
So for that, you need perfect communication, perfect target. Otherwise, barrier is so low, entry barrier, as well as in tourism. Okay, there are many fields in this country. Okay? So as soon as you position yourself as the first, as the best, then it's not an easy way to compete with you. So the communication we just went through. What kind of communication? I don't know. You should be focused on that when you're with the pitching with the investors later on, and pay attention to the low entry barrier. Yes, all of us agree about that. And then the communication and how you make strengthen yourself on the market is a sort of mental, which is not true right now. And then be first, to keep the first place on the market. At least maybe not as sales, but as a brand. It's always like that. Probably someone sells much more. Coca-Cola probably sells much more their own drink than the Red Bull today. But the Red Bull is #1 anyway.
I think your name, Spy, I kind of like the, how it plays, because it has certain connotations, especially for foreigners. So try
Yeah,
to,
it's a little bit confusing.
yeah, it's confusing,
Yeah.
but you can actually play with the word. And,
This
think
is
it's-
like the meaning of the product.
I think it's-
like it's a box of the Spy, which is like you can cook a Georgian dish and you can tell anybody that how it
Okay, we can
Yes.
give you some time.
I think this brand is brilliant.
Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
and I think that the logo is nice and it goes well with Eastern Europe and so on. No, I think it's great. Stay with that.
Thank you.
Don't change that.
Thank you very
But
much.
what you should think about is because you have to use a lot of money on on marketing, right? On communication. So you got to think about 2 things. The margin on I told you this last time.
Yeah.
You're selling at 2 lari a piece. I think it should be 5 lari. I think you could easily get that. I would I would take half of the spices out and really get you a solid margin that makes you, that allows you to communicate, right? So I think it usually, there should be like 200-300% on something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
This is so don't go for try to compete on price, because this is not a price product.
I would sell this more like perfume.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you know, the smaller the bottle and the more expensive, the better.
I
So
just
sell
do
it like that.
just twice as Gela said last time.
Make it smaller, make it more expensive.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you go into the area where you're competing with Knorr, you know,
Yeah.
some massive international monopolies who could just bury you on price, right? They can give it away for
Not
free.
even international, locally, Bebo, or whatever, Georgia,
Yeah.
brands are, they can.
You gotta get out of that.
Santa
that,
Maria,
get
all
out
these
of that
companies,
bracket.
yeah.
Get into the exclusivity.
You're a handmade, custom, like a Jamie Oliver kind of, you know, product.
Actually, I would probably put between handmade and the product, spice.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
word spy is there, but
Spice, okay, and then you can guess if you are intellectually property.
Yeah.
Handmade spice product would be better. It's
If you
really-
can't figure this out, well, you
you gotta hold it. You gotta hold it.
No, no, but advertising is the point. You know,
Yeah.
There
you
was-
cannot have a smell on the
Online, you don't
Because
smell.
today, I regard it more. I mean, this could be about spicing, about spy, business, anything. I mean, okay, there is a flower.
I
You
think
never know. Just put handmade spice product, in my opinion. But this is another stage.
What about handmade spices?
Yeah, why not?
Forget product, just say handmade spices.
That's even better.
Thank you.
Okay.
Explains also the spy in the, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has spy and spices.
And then product, handmade product, what's it? Handmade spices.
It's very good idea to mix the product, you make handmade spices, and spy.
No, no, you want to say something?
Since my colleagues touched the logo issue,
Yeah, you have to register it.
have you thought about registration?
Oh, yeah.
And if you haven't, come to San Quentin, and you will get a consultation from the.
Within 3 months, you got this little register.
And trademarks aren't expensive.
Trademark, yeah.
Very
Handmade spices, spy, whatever.
I think-
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
No, I just want, there was,
No, no, wait
there
just
was
a
just one more thing. I
Yeah.
think you need to think about, so, you know, one distribution channel is obviously retail. This is already, you're doing that in shops and so on. But how do you get to, so a big part of your client base is going to be tourists, right? And so you want these tourists to go back, and then you want to sell them and make Georgian dishes back home, right? So think about, how do you get into that group of people? How do you communicate with tourists? Through tourist agencies? Maybe you make a leaflet on a bus, on the
Yeah.
tour buses that can sit in the back of the seat or something like that.
Airports.
I think you have a lot more than 120 or 200,000 clients. I think you have a lot more than that. If you
Your capacity is up
if
to
you
40,000.
if you target them,
Yeah.
yeah, and then very specific targeting, and then the other thing I was just thinking of.
Yeah, this is
What
like
if,
souvenirs, you know, you can
no,
buy-
exactly. There's a lot of Georgian restaurants around in Moscow and in you know, even in the US and so on. If you can make a little rack,
Thanks. Yeah.
like a little spice rack that they can put at the entrance or something
Yeah.
like that,
Nice.
might be an idea. I don't know.
Those restaurants will sell it for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Additional revenue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the next competitor is Beva Zavalishvili. It's about the new building system. Oh, wait. So it's architectural.
Come up with presence or some that the joking models to have a look.
Sure, sure.
Just try and be within the 3 minutes.
Try is the word.
Two.
But inside, it's too much. Just
Yeah.
It has to be like 1/3 and 1/4.
one, that one. Maybe maybe I want to use this one, and maybe if it is not correct. Can I
Okay, you can say
without
it.
my microphone?
It's your presentation.
Is it up there? Is it clear? Is it
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Reza Alovitri. I'm an architect. My assistant, my son David, chief architect of the project. Well, the reason, this is the adaptable building system with inclined planes. You can see the text is not seen well. The reason why we have to come to this idea to create this adaptable building system is that construction in mountains needs to have careful approach, competitive approach, because the cutting of slopes causes undesirable consequences, landslides, and this kind of processes. We know that the 2/3 of the territory of Georgia is occupied by mountains, and furthermore, the Tbilisi is the linear city is situated in a so-called ditch, and is stretched along the Kara River from east to west, and the big mountains like Ashtuchari, Trelletikot, those are occupied to the south and north. And we have to build on mountains, and we have this, because there is no way out. Because the itself city is narrow, narrow beach, and we have to develop a city in transversal direction to the south, from south to the east, south to the north. This is the way to come to this. We know that, yeah. Well, the goal, what's our goal? The goal of the proposal is to create an ecological building system which is adaptable to the natural landscape, and is characterized by the innovative comprehension of building environment and rational and economical use of living space. In general, nature processes the environment on micro and micro level using pure geometric forms. Let us show the part of it. Pure geometric forms, cubes, 3, 4, 5, and 6 angular prisms. We have these solids, we cut them, split them, and assemble again. So we get this kind of structures, and with the manipulation of the solids and their split parts, we create a system which could be adaptable to any kind of landscape, any inclination. We can see here the cubes, and we add another type of the split part of it. We get 45 degree. If we split the 6 angular prism, we have 30 degree, and the manipulation gives us the fact that we could embed the structure in the desirable and whatever it is, the landscape. Yes, here are some examples. Here are some, up there, up. Here are examples. We have here, yes. At the same time, I will just give you some examples, and then we will see what we're talking about. This is structures, and this is the way. Here is a slope. Here is a slope. Just to see. This is 6 angular prism and cube. Here we have cubes and its derivatives. This one is here we have some. And here are some examples of the structure, how they are fitted there, embedded in the Now, next.
Ek uçi tuşa geliyor. Video çabuk çağırtıyor. Prezentasyonu. If you can. How are you also?
By creating this, by creating the landscape, by creating the structure, it is created, an inclined plane is created, which is the main formative element of the interior space. In this, with the help of this inclined plane, we create compartments, some models, some units. We have the bath unit, kitchen unit, some kind of private unit. It can be isolated or united with the whole space with the vertical louvers and we can slide down. And it is flexible too. We will have the flexible space and here the kitchen unit, something like that. Now, maybe I will give you some data of what is the cost of the ordinary house. Let's say that one or bigger one. Mm-hmm. So I'll show this one. Here is the interior of one of these section of that house, which is yes, this is the total cost and calculation of expenditures of the two-story, three-room cottage. Floor area is 154 square meter, building volume 516 cubic meter. It's a wooden frame version. We have also steel frame version, and we count here, and we can show the foundation works are here are 960 lives, 450, 440 lives. On the aggregate, in the aggregate, the total cost is 57,647 lives, approximately $24,000. But it is not, here is included the windows and doors and outside. I have seen the, yes, I have seen the, we have carried out some market research and we have found out that some Finnish houses which are built here in Georgia, they are ordinary houses in the end. This one. These houses are approximately 1 square meters cost is
what makes it cheaper?
300
questions. What makes it cheaper? Why your houses or your construction model is leading to the cheaper price?
Well, it is quite. It will be up. It will go up to 240-50, not more than.
Yeah.
Because there will lack.
Is the shell prefabricated? We don't have construction shell is prefabricated. Let's say not the shell, but the carcass.
It must be prefabricated. Yes.
Prefabricated. So it gets transported by normal truck. Yes. You said it's a 3x3 model.
3 is a 3x3. Yes.
Well,
It's 3x3. But if we produce prefabricated elements, we'll have the panels prefabricated, windows prefabricated, There's another variant to have version to have containers also prefabricated. And
So I understand that this is you know, prefab modular housing, which is not a new thing, obviously, but it might be innovative because you use those, you know, those structures and these shapes, and you can adapt it.
Yeah, not to go the landscape.
Yeah, you can adapt it. You can adapt it to landscape and so on. But no, I just wanted to go back to basically your presentation, right? Because first of all, when you have to enter into something like this, and you have to explain your idea in 3 minutes, then you have to prepare, right? You have to prepare yourself. You're running around in 50 different slides and so on. You have to pick out before you come here the slides that you want to show us to sell the product, right? This is just feedback for you. Then you train at home. You prepare with the stopwatch, and you figure out what it is you want to deliver. For me, it would be you know, obvious that you would say, why is this? Because this is not just a Georgian thing that you have mountains and rivers and so on. That exists everywhere, right? So don't focus on Georgia. If you want to sell this idea as an international idea, don't say that it works in Georgia only. Yeah. So and don't focus it on Georgia, but say anything that has contours. That's where you can use this. Second,
excuse me,
Not in Holland or Denmark.
in Holland and Denmark, even in Holland and Denmark, I'm sure that there's some contours. The second thing is, you know, focus on either on the, so what is it? Is it cost? Is it speed? You know, how is it fast to build?
On site, it will be on site.
Exactly. So these things you need to focus on. And then the second thing, which has always been my question, are you building without a foundation?
Anchor foundation.
Yeah, but then say it. Then say it.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
This is the most important thing.
It's a huge thing that you don't have to make the foundation.
Yeah,
That
so
is-
you make the foundation, but it's a different kind of foundation.
That's a
Small
huge thing. You
foundation,
need to
anchor
communicate
foundation,
that.
which is actually more environmentally friendly to the landscape.
And then when you
make the point that it's okay in these export countries too, that it's
Yeah.
allowed, right?
Yeah.
and Revas, when you talk about cost, then put it up. This is what it costs to make a normal building. This is what it costs to make my building.
Yes, excuse me.
Yeah, I want to continue what
Yes.
was said here. So I'm constructing, you have to, if I understand correctly, you have to put it in front of your speech, you know. So say this is the building, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is the horizontal and this is the slope, yeah?
Yes.
You go there. Instead of digging into, as you said, and making some changes into the landscape, which causes very unpleasant, you know, you
Cutting
are
and so.
taking this sort. You make this according to the relief, yes, to the landscape. So if you see it, instead of this, you could do what? This could be like you take the ground here and make it to ordinary, yes, without this construction that you are making. So you are using this slope and you go just without digging into the soil. It's okay.
We have general inclination.
And this construction is very stable, you know, because when it's sliding, yes, it can slide. But you're making anchors, yeah.
Yes,
So you have to focus on that. You know, you have to focus on that. Because what I captured from your idea is that you are not touching the landscape. The landscape keeps as it is. And instead of that, you change the building. Instead of changing the soil, you change the building. This is it. So you adjust it.
To adjust the right way.
Yeah, you adjust it to the slope, landscape. That's the main idea. So you have to focus on that. You want to change the landscape, which again may cause the very unpleasant.
I hope even to.
But you have also to stress on that this is you remember last time I said this is very stable and construction, which doesn't change the form, because you are keeping the anchors, yes, which is instead of making, and you have to say that. And this
Name the intersection point where there is an anchorage.
and what is the difference between having this foundation, because it's not that stable, but stability comes with stability of the construction itself, which you can, if it slides even, it keeps the form. Understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It is
Just
good
say,
to
I
know.
want to
I
add
like the
something,
idea,
excuse
I
me.
like it, but you have
Yes.
to focus on the things that are unique, you know, that makes it different.
Thank you for the
that makes it-
proposition, yes. Just what
You
I,
want to, because from your speech, it's, you know, you said, this is not something
but
that.
it's 3 minutes, it's quite, we worked on this one.
It
just
can be
years
done.
and years.
Believe me, it can be done.
Excuse me, why I just emphasized on Georgia is because I hope there will be some here.
Three-dimensional, say three-dimensional
investors
countries.
which own vast majority those slopes and everything, and we can actually realize and that's why I
All right.
want to emphasize.
Yeah, I clearly understand it because, you know, we are colleagues. And
Yes.
but you are more used to talk with other architects of the construction and maybe some developers. Then the business, just the business. Here you're supposed to focus on the main issues like ESF. First, environmentally friendly. And explaining what's environmentally friendly. They use anchors, you follow the slope. Second, it's self-sustainable construction, which actually can be taken and put anywhere else without damage of the construction in terms of the, you know, deformation, because it's already strength is there in advance. Third, the prefabrication. Fourth, anything else used in these technologies today, I mean, it will be OSPs or it will be listening your pitch. So, in other words, thanks to you, thanks to us that we understand what you're saying. The project is very clear and very socially responsible, and it would be like, first of all, personally I would like. And obviously, should find out his counterpart in terms of interest, hopefully. But it should be more later. I mean, on that another stage, when you already would see the interest, you have to be very focused on the timelines, how quick, how easy, and how much more flexible this construction process would be, and the price right there. And that's it.
I
That's
got
what people
the,
need.
I got the certificate from that one, fact patent.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's
the
idea is there. So please.
I just want to add about the business part didn't come out really at all here. But I think you do have a serious business case here. You already referenced some houses going to Finland.
Yes.
Your market entry probably in Scandinavia would be the best because A, per square meter, that's some of the most expensive houses built. B, their environmentalism and not cutting into the mountains is taken extremely seriously. It's mandated and controlled and checked, and so they will pay extra. Not, you know, they don't even want it cheaper. They'll pay extra to have this kind of thing. And so you don't have to sell on a discount. You can even sell on a premium. And Estonian companies are doing that already with not this innovative concept, but selling boxes essentially to Norway.
German.
Yeah, in German, yeah, exactly. So the market is there. You make 2 slides to explain, you know, how you're tapping that market, how your path is from Georgia to Scandinavia, what that market is worth, you know, how many hundreds of million, and from there to, I don't know, elsewhere.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, it's a very interesting project, and obviously it needs to be shaped in terms of pitching and in terms of putting the accents and sales points.
There's a story. You need to develop the story so that it really flows within
Excuse
that.
me, I didn't tell you everything what I wanted.
No, but that's exactly what we want to say.
Yes.
You cannot say everything, but you need a lot of time. No, you don't.
Of course, this is a
You should make
complex
it short.
project.
Seven,
That's not the
3
point.
minutes,
Is
7 slides.
the point is that you need to get to the phase where people say, "Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know more." Because
They will ask
you
after.
won't
In
you
3
won't
minutes,
be
you-
able to explain in a pitch. You won't be able to explain everything.
Yeah.
You got to explain the key points. Why somebody should ask more questions about this.
It's my mistake. Thank you. Thank you.
No, I'm just.
adesso voleva che sia
Hai uso adesso qui, adattare questo certificate, actually certificate against all this hardware. Scan. Hai adesso.
devo dire pulire.
Devo dire lexi da autore da pixel.
Sei stato speranza. No, sei stato programmi già It's a right now discussion.
Oh, ma esatto, devo dire questo secondo io
Allora, devo dire vari,
He listed four really good ones. And there's more. Highlighting those and explaining that those are worth money.
They're probably more saying that every module accounts.
They have a very good company which is called Velvet. You must have
Yeah, I know.
They had
What they could do with
what they could do with this kind of stuff. I mean, I know the founder of Velvet, and I mean, these guys can like run away with this.
Absolutely. It'd be like a moonshot suddenly. Wow.
Okay.
Next project, Arnie. The next project is an online shop for Georgian products. People, lots of work, please.
Hello. I am Nicholas Bazavo. I produce Georgian trendy goods. I'm working in Batumi, one of the biggest restaurant and entertainment complex here in Batumi as a peer manager. Now I am proud to be here, and I believe that Georgian trendy goods will be the face of Georgia for foreign customers. Inspiration of this idea was two ladies. One of them is my grandmother, who is a flower businesswoman, and second is my wife, who really loves check in the online shops and see what the news. Our main issue is the start this business, this online shop, by our traditional clothes, selling by our traditional clothes. This is the photos of our traditional clothes, and this is the national craft. Also, do any jewelry members know where to buy on the website the spinning basket? I think no, because the because our platform, web platform, is not ready to offer for customers this kind of service. That's why Georgian trendy goods need to Georgia, and this for customers. This is our technologies. This is the clip, the clever ring. This is the wood sunglasses and watch. This is our technology. We Georgians have the traditional things and the technology already. Now we get the visa liberalization, and our country must be ready, and it has more opportunity to go on the export. So now my team is organized the online platform, the Georgian trendy good after 6 months start cooperations with big companies and startups like spices, like wine tea, like toys. And these products will be sold on this online web platform. Because every customer who is from the Georgia and for foreign people, they know that Georgian trendy good means all Georgian products and only Georgian products are in this platform. So we will grow up, and this will be like the broker between the Georgian products and the customer. Our partners, I think it will be Jamfest and Tbilisi Open Air. This is the two biggest music festival. As we know, music breaks free. So when you are free, you want new souvenirs or something that, and you can buy this in Georgian trendy goods. This is the Georgian tourist department and the economics department. This must be our partners, I think so. Bank payment system for installment and for bonus points, it should be in our website because it's more comfortable for the customer. They buy more than they can buy only by cash. Delivery service, we think about this, and we decided to, between the countries, we will use the posta. Between the cities, Kutaisi, Tbilisi, Batumi, we will use Metro Georgia. This is the faster and this is the cheaper than Georgian posta. And between in the city, maybe in Kutaisi, Tbilisi, Batumi, we will use Taxi Maxi. This is the more cheaper and faster. You can provide this in 5 hours maybe, delivery system. Of course, these products will be insurance. There will be insurance for more reliability. If this product will overdo delivery, we will make discount 30%. This in Georgia officially there is the 2-week for delivery system. So if we have this kind of discount, customer will choose our website. So these were all. So thanks for your attention, and I feel that Georgian trendy goods live for Georgia.
Okay.
So the first comment is your presentation is getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better.
So you actually take some advice, which is nice. I think maybe you spend a little bit too much time on just the idea. I like the idea. I did that from the beginning. That because I know this from people who visit me or visit our family is that they find this thing that they would really like to have, but they don't know where to get it, right? So the idea of bringing things together, souvenirs and stuff that you want to buy of high quality, bring that together so that when you buy it online, then I think that's a great idea. But that's just an idea. Then you need to come to the real business model. How are you actually going to do that? And I think you spend a little bit of time on it in the end, on delivery and so on. But you need to be more specific about why this is a business, because online shopping is not a new thing, right? So why is it that you can do this? What's the setup that you have that makes this a good business model? I think the other thing you need to understand, most of your clients, they might be in country for maybe a day or two, and then they're out again. They want their goods, when they see them, they want them basically a couple of hours later. So, I come down from the mountains in Tusheti and I want, Oikesbegi, and I want a sheep hat, right? But the bus didn't stop, obviously, because, it has to come back. Yeah, so you need to be able to deliver very fast.
And actually, that was everyone who told you in Batumi that you can use the local post, you obviously say the same, but we suggested you to use a taxi file or some other system which today goes from Tbilisi to another Tbilisi.
There was taxi, but you said you could do that within 5 hours or so. And I think you need to make sure that you're delivering something very unique here, right? You need to explain that it's super unique. It's it's either fast or it's comprehensive and it's, you know.
Yeah.
Can you do it without warehousing?
Yeah, and can you do it with,
What I said, this was the example, maybe in half hour or 1.5 hours.
no, but you're selling an idea to us, right? We are supposed to be investing in this, right? So you're selling an idea, you have to give us something that is absolutely unique where you say, wow, that is a great idea.
This project is very much filling up the gap. This and why Georgia, what Lesben says, I 100% agree. Remember that we said it in the battle. What I would suggest is instead of showing so much slide for the next time, if you have the next time, just show us tentative design of your interface, selling interface, with your logo incorporated. You know, just looking like interface. For me, if I would be investor, that would be more convincing. We'll say, oh, this guy thought already about the interface. This is one point. Another point is that what obviously everyone said, the business model, how it works, why it's fast, why it's good, why it's about straight to the point. And probably, I don't know, it's just suggestion. I would be more tolerating than other things, like maybe in your website you push the I'm a tourist. I push the button and I look for the particular product. Yeah. Instead of delivering it to me, I would look for rather an option to buy it myself. But why don't you sell addresses of the places? Okay, you can have an option. Another click, you got the addresses of the places where you can buy that for $3. And then take your partner companies and the partner shops and just to sell the addresses. You know, that would be fine. I have one day, half day, look on the browse the product, like it's a big catalog. I like there's so many things, and I see, okay, click on that, and maybe I buy 3 or 2 addresses or just all of them for $3 for you, it's still good. And it shows your tolerance to your partners, tolerance to the customers, and care of the customers, and you actually allow them to be free in terms of the choice and the buying something else themselves. Okay, just advice. And then generally speaking, I think this project has very much local, but that doesn't mean it's local only, but later on, I mean, local is Georgian. Georgian values, I mean values for Georgian society and the public and the selling, tourism and others. And actually, you have to work on to make it even much better than today. I mean, much better, a long way. But it's obviously good that you changed it a little bit, and because previous one was not as clear as that one. But everything is on
Maybe it's a cultural thing, but for me, trendy goods as a word combination is not necessarily what you're selling. I think you mentioned that there's new things and then there's old things. I mean, a traditional Georgian, national clothing, to me, doesn't go under the word trendy.
Well, that's a good question, by the way.
No, but I think
because he didn't show that.
No, this comes in all fairness from the fact that the project was a bit different from the beginning.
Ah, okay, so this is
from the beginning it was something about design, Georgian designer goods and so on,
Georgian
from your
glasses
from
and
your
watch and
those also fashion designers.
So this
But
was.
I saw some like old.
Let me just explain. So that was the idea. The idea was that his wife was shopping for designer clothes and designer clothes, and that's where and then down in Batumi we said, well, it was you had a different logo on it. Georgian commerce and so on. And so we gave it a bit of a twist and called it Georgian trendy goods. But then we got into a long discussion on what if it was, kind of the stuff that tourists buy instead. So it's been taking a change, but the logo has.
Actually, trendy in that term would not mean only there's a little intersection of trendy word to the modern, because some goods that were being produced in Georgia now is getting trendy, looking old, but it's trendy. People just buying without that. That can be trendy, actually. Yeah. So actually, generally speaking, this word can be maintained in a way, but we'll see. Yeah.
Well, you have to provide the story behind it to make it sense.
In either case, Georgian trendy or, for example, Georgian traditional goods, there is one problem. You can, of course, name it, but you cannot protect it because it's descriptive. Like
and country name and
it's descriptive means, for example, online shop for flowers cannot be protected with trademark because it's saying what it's all about.
Okay.
It means descriptive.
it's a weak IP position.
Fruit, you cannot.
Does it need to
So you have to find a new word. So
Sure.
make up the word yourself.
Sure.
Like, for example, a candy made of fruits. If you call it frutella, frutella means nothing. So it's a made up word. You can protect it as a.
Gotrego.
That's or Amazon and shop has nothing in common, so you can call your shop Amazon.
Right. Or you can use Apple, but with computers, because there's no connection
If you
between
sell
Apple and
it,
computers.
you can call it Apple, but if you sell it computers, you can.
But you can't call an Apple store Apple. A fruit store cannot be probably Apple.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you can think all about this, but important the business model is clear.
One more comment. When I started thinking about this, always about pitching for me, I know it gets boring, but it's problem, solution, because it forces you at least to come up with some problem, some very specific problem on one slide. If I was going to come up with a very specific problem for myself right now in Georgia, is that I'm a wine lover, okay? And lots of my friends are wine lovers, but there's no way I can take the wine back because I'm usually traveling with a carry-on, and you can't take it in the plane, right? Even if you could, it might break and all that, and there's no room, and even one bottle already puts you over the weight limit and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So I will focus on something like, how do you get this wine or big hats or whatever, which won't fit into your luggage? How do I get it? But not that it's going to arrive 3 weeks later or something where I don't care, but like tomorrow, day after tomorrow, third day, when I land on my plane, 2 days later, I also get my wine and everything. Think of what is the real problem, and if you can offer a solution to that.
It's a solution for that. So, I have winery. Okay. They are keeping warehouse in Belgium. And
There you go,
anybody
perfect.
Anybody can.
There it is.
Deliver.
It's done. It's already sold for you. You just sell his stuff.
Yeah, we can deliver wine to anybody in Europe.
But it's just.
In Belgium,
Warehouse. Yeah.
And you're solving a real problem, right? Because I want Georgian wine, but I'm not going to be able to take it with me. My cousin asked me to bring it, and I specifically told him, dude, I'm flying with a carry-on. I can't.
As you said, you get some problem and you need some solution. I asked another question minutes ago. So there was no solution about the spinning basket, for example, and we will make the local solution, and then after.
We go straight to point about wine, and there are Pasadena has his warehouse. There are a lot of, I would suggest about 20-25 dealers worldwide, starting from Singapore. When I'm going to Singapore, I'm multiple right now in Hong Kong, and they are delivering, they're getting wine from Hong Kong, Georgian wine from Hong Kong. Okay, there is nothing South America, but in North America, in Europe, in Baltics, there are dealers of different, of course not one, but different winemakers, and this is kind of service you can put it in, saying that, all right, if you want to have a wine, let's say Saperoli, you can get it in Italy within 2 days from now, or 3 days, whatever will be allowed by the logistics.
I think
this is
that. I buy that.
perfect idea, because no import, export taxes are already gone, everything is, it's
The
made.
post, the logistics works better already.
Yeah,
It's
so,
local.
in Germany, I'm receiving wine in Germany, and when I need it in England, anywhere else I go, apart
There
of
was
South America, everywhere is a dealership.
Also,
Yeah.
not only for tourists, but also
Cooperation
those
with
for Georgians and
companies.
Agents all around the world.
No, no.
For
Yeah.
example,
These Georgians,
if
if I go
our
say,
jewelry
I
has
want to
wine
present you
shop
wine,
in
so
Belgium,
Exactly. So you don't bring it
so
with
we
you.
can
I will bring it with me.
cooperation.
No, but
Like
this was exactly my point, is that you have a lot of kind of ideas that's floating around, but you don't nail them down.
Yeah.
This is how I'm gonna solve that problem. You say, well, maybe I'll cooperate with big companies and so on. You should have been your thought process is only at the beginning stage, right?
Yeah.
So once you say, well, maybe I'll do, so specifically, what am I gonna do? What, so so specifically, what you maybe want to do is that you say, I will work with wine import or wine exporters that already have wine. Now we're just talking wine. It should be. I don't know if.
But I mean,
if
these swords and knives and whatever else you can.
I don't know if Gia will have that in its warehouse in Belgium, but you have to go further in your thought process. You have to dig deeper into the problem and say, how do we solve that concretely?
Okay,
Right.
first, what I want to do, I want to start this first step. And step by step, new ideas.
We understand how ancient.
No, but then you have to
start it successfully. It's better if you go far away from the point where you are now. Think deeply, think about the various cases, show the problem and the solution, so you convince someone who you are willing to start with. Okay? If you are sustainable, doing everything yourself, you can allow yourself to start and then develop. But if you want to make it both, like the startup integration very fast and good and grow fast, then you have to convince someone else.
The other thing you didn't answer either in your presentation is, okay, I want to do a delivery system of, wicker baskets and, Kahetian mountain hats and Tushetian sheepskin, sheep coats and so on. How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna get it from Tusheti to the client in a reasonable time? Are you gonna drive up to Tusheti and get it, or are you gonna buy stock and stock it somewhere? Are you gonna have a central warehouse? Are you gonna? I mean, this is what I mean by digging into the business idea, right? You need to explain. You need to explain the mechanics of what you're doing. If you don't do that, then you won't convince anyone. Then I'll say, well, it's a great idea, but it needs a lot more work than this.
You can use Amazon box and to be the site seller for Amazon. Like you go to Amazon, you find the same good, or let's say someone comes from America and they like something good, then you can ship them to Amazon and they're having your box in Amazon so that you can deliver it there. It costs nothing almost because you just one big delivery. Anyway, I think it's a great project, very much in line for Georgian tourism and generally market development. And if you will be more focused, more, let's say, insistent in many aspects, I think it should have some success, and we like it.
Thank you. All right. So the next project is it's an online app. It's by Antonio Manchkandler. I want to emphasize that I'm very glad we have projects with Matumi as well. This is exactly what
it's a very coffee break. We have a coffee break after.
Pardon me?
We have a coffee break after.
Yeah, we should take a coffee break.
Yeah.
Halfway.
Five.
Sure.
Go to the bathroom. My coffee is coming out.
Coffee break will be just kind of walking.
Yeah, it'll be everybody ready to the point. That was really
My name is Target. My idea is I can fix it.
Thank you.
Hello to everybody, I'm Lisa Chikwate. So today I present a presentation about Close app. Short description about idea. This idea about mobile app, so in this app will be made 3D of person. We are looking very simply to enter our parameters and save it. So there are also a second application, the database. We are going to be testing of clothing, visual images and size written by manufacturers, retailers, and also who are interested in clothing trade. Every module in the database has their own QR code, so it's a very simple way to scan from the smartphones. With the help of our app, all our complete parameters will be pointed. We will scan this code and will show our size, and also if the concrete brand has our size. So it's the size, as we know, every manufacturers and brands have their own size. So also we know Also, we know the size converter where we write our size and it gives the correct size and found size for us. So it is an example for case, or it's one of the example of apps. Its name case clothes authoring tool lets you create 3D clothes based on the front and back photos within 5-10 minutes. This creation process is about 20-30 times faster than the other 3D clothes creation tools in the market. Furthermore, it delivers photorealistic results capturing the correct look and feel of the original fabric. So, what is the application give us? The easy way to change clothes, detailed information on the selected products, save and share screenshots in the social network, simple way to buy online. Let's say income. So income is an important part. So how will we get the income? Or we will it will create what advert offers in the app, and so we will sell the model. Just now we watched the example of mirrors. Oh, yeah. So Cisco has mirror which helps to close to the clothes. And second is the FX mirror and fix shop. So so this without what does now this app give us only an Asian standard size. So fit and show. This is an app where see the person with their size. This app gives us only size of Korea. This app made in South Korea and this app have only some brands which brands are made only in Korea. So what's different only? So thank you. Because now I talk about difference of this application in our app. So the difference between this idea, this of our idea and this apps, we don't need a mirror. It is our idea is a mobile app, and we will write all the sizes in it, and by a QR code, it gives us the correct sizes and found exactly what we need. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, question.
I was a mentor for an Estonian CEO, Heiki Haldre, who ended up raising almost 20 million euros for a company called Fits Me. it got acquired by Rakuten, but it was one of these acquisitions where it's like secret terms, which usually means they lost money. They didn't even recover what was put into it. And the reason why I asked Heikki, what happened, and along the way I worked with him, and it was very, very tough. The challenges were often related to the manufacturers of the clothes messing with the sizing all the time.
That's
like,
what we told you last time.
Vanity, there's, especially for women, for women's clothes, there's vanity sizing, right? They want women to think that they are a size 4, when in fact it's really a size 8. But she can tell her friends like, oh, I fit into a 4 now. Or a man saying, oh, look, I'm a 34 waist, when in fact, and it's just a lie. It's 36, 37, but they say 34 on there. And then there's the change in fashion, right? One year it's all about slim fit, and they'll mess with, what's a small, what's a large, and then there'll be like extra slim fit, and then a relaxed fit, and all this. And this, they keep changing all the time, and they regard this kind of sizing as also their competitive data and competitive advantage. So they're not very open about telling you exactly what the sizing is, because their competitor, H&M or whoever else, is also watching them all the time, like how slim they're gonna go or not. So it's a tough thing, especially now that Amazon Echo Look is coming out. Well, it's out already, right? Amazon Echo sits in your home, has a camera on it, and it looks at you, and you can choose. In fact, you can ask Echo, what do you think of this outfit? And Amazon says, nah, try blue pants. So it has this for sizing and for choosing and for buying clothes. And also you can do polls on Amazon Echo. Like you put together that picture that I'm gonna wear this, right? And then you send it to your friends or your girlfriend saying, hey, I'm going out on a hot date tonight. Is it okay if I wear this, right? So all of this kind of apps and all this is out. It's gonna be tough. I don't want to rain on any entrepreneur's parade. I'm just saying this is pretty tough, difficult, very difficult market.
It's almost impossible market because even without marketing, without kind of cheating ideas like to tell someone you're so sweet, my God, or something like that. Apart of it, the manufacturers after with supervised vision of let's say North Face or without supervision still are making so big mistakes at half size, 1 size, 2 size. Like Ferragamo, you can wear Ferragamo 9.5, one place at the airport, and another place 9.5 doesn't fit you. Or let's say I'm not paying, I'm not buying Ferragamo shoes, but that's my one. So, but it's really wild west in this bill, and that's to make it.
So why do you think they keep it kind of almost like one size 1.5 difference? So is it deliberate? What you're
I also say the same. Sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes they simply couldn't control because they use the material, different material.
And it shrinks differently.
By the way, that
it behaves.
When I got the last time my waters, I got it in Los Angeles. I returned it immediately. We got in my room. Yeah. So and then I bought another one in New York. It was still small, even it was written the same size. So people couldn't control. They sometimes don't want to control. Sometimes use that as a marketing or let's say other communication stuff, and it's a big jungle, big jungle. So unfortunately, you can't really do that in 100%. Otherwise, guys with 20 million couldn't do that.
Well, and they were the small kid on the block, and they had Hugo Boss. They had the Pink of London shirts like that. Lots of brands like that. Media Zegna, they had these kinds of clients, and they just couldn't do it. It was just really tough. But with every startup, the first idea, 99.99999% of the time, the first idea is never the idea that actually makes the money down the line, right? What do you see? I mean, you're smart people. You have a pretty good pitch, I saw here. What do you see? What are some other opportunities? What else could you do with this data or this knowledge or this know-how or this platform?
So, as Arturo said, this international converter will be make the size and it will be give us the correct and find the correct size for us because we know the size in Europe is different with USA And so all these parameters will be written in this app. So
well, maybe that's I've never heard about that, and that's actually something that I would use if I had it on my phone. Like instead of it's like you have a currency exchange on your phone and so on. But once you go shopping, and I travel in the United States, and then I convert my European size into a US size, like quick.
Real simple, real fast.
We have it on the file flags last page, since 45 or 50 years.
No, but this is so.
Filofax in the back page.
But a converter that is specifically for shopping.
If I may add, what I saw in this idea, many of you might remember that the whole manufacturing of the clothes started around maybe after World War II.
Yeah.
Before that, how did people get clothes? They had tailors.
Custom.
So 70 years after World War II, what I understand, what these guys are suggesting, is a personalizing clothes. So each person actually has perfect size. In 6 months you may gain 5 kilograms or 10 kilograms, but at least today, on June 15th, you have perfect size, which is digitally saved. And maybe when you go to the manufacturer or you want to buy, they have your information. So that's what I capture in this.
Well, actually, what else you can do is maybe something of Photoshop kind of document and Photoshop kind of stuff based on Photoshop. So just the changing of the shape of the existing model in your sizes, so you know that kind of suit or the kind of dress, how it would suit you, with your figure. I mean, just taking the normal picture of the existing clothes, make it wider if you are much thicker than the model on, and then put your hand on it, something like that. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding either. Really. I mean, just take it from magazine and scan it, and then make it out of your shape. This is something different. Maybe you can do that. I don't know. It's like Photoshop work. But take a nice lady, maybe get out or people, I don't know, something. That's it. I mean,
just an idea that occurred to me. Again, problem solution. On Amazon, they have added a new. I hate shopping, so I only buy online. Everything I buy online. One tool that has become extremely useful for me, and I haven't seen anywhere else, is Amazon, where they have the sizes, but under the sizes, they have this survey about fitting.
Yeah.
Like a different thing where you click, right?
Yeah.
It runs small, runs large.
Big, half a size small.
If that was with you in a very simple app, crowdsourced by everyone, that very thin, very simple, like you said, app that I'm in a store, I have no idea, US size, a European size, is it run small, run big? It's actually helpful. Without any pictures, without any simulations, nothing expensive or complicated.
I'm now thinking about another problem that I have constantly, that always bugs me. So I have 2 kids, right? So when I go and I travel and I have to buy for my kids, and they go like, "How old are they?" I said, "Well, he's 13, but he's 13, but he's a tall 30. He's probably a 40 or whatever." If I before I left home, I could scan him, and put him in the app, and I would have the measurements. Then I could actually shop for him without having
for shoes or something,
without having to bring my kids every time I need to go shopping. That would be. Can you imagine how many parents would love that?
It's so thin, actually, so simple compared to these.
Narrow your sort of target, and instead of make some universal.
It's like a clothing app.
Yeah.
And you can always make it more complicated.
That's
that way
it's maybe that is applicable, like Esmond said, for that kind of use, which is actually very much needed. And probably this Photoshop work a little bit like to exercise how you look on it. Because there are some haircuts and other things you can fit on you. And then if you can do the same for the clothes, because some people will, the ladies especially, this color will fit them or not, and the shape makes the sense. So, I mean, maybe something that at the beginning and then widen it after. But make it.
The other thing I can't remember.
Workable immediately.
Also that I cannot remember is that I can't remember the shoe sizes for my kids.
So
I always go wrong then, right? So if you
They
have,
go by age and size, and they go by so many
I
variables.
say you need to hard work, but it's possible to do.
yeah,
All right, actually, your
Because we
presentation
have
was
Georgian
10 times better than before this 5 days ago. That give us sort of hope that, not hope, but we are sure we can manage some very good products soon and make it narrow, make it very much targeted, but make little goal, push it, make it happen, and come back to us without CBC if you want. Just tell us, let us know, because as we told you, we are intending to build up permanent small institute, like a club of angel investors, and there is always open floor for you to give a pitch and convince us that we convince someone else to work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we are going to have a coffee break without coffee. I'm sorry.
Without coffee?
Yeah. So 10, 15 minutes.
We call it a break.
Yeah, I know.
Just a break.